Hi, my name is Larry Meyer, and I'm the owner of Larry Meyer Construction Company, LLC, and we are located at 3901 Business Park Drive in Wausau. And today we're going to be discussing several different topics that seem to pop up whenever we're talking with our customers. Especially this time of year, very common question that we receive. Moisture on the window comes from several reasons. Obviously, it's a high humidity factor in the house, and you want to know what causes that humidity. Could be that you had a great big family gathering and you've been cooking spaghetti or anything that's been boiling on the stove for hours and is dumping a ton of moisture into your house. Could be a huge change in temperature from outside from one day to the next. Might go from 40 degrees and humid and rainy, and then it turns and drops down to real cold. It might be that you're not using your bath fans as need be. And one of the other ones that we see a lot is people will close their curtains at night and their heat duct is always right below the curtain. And so as the heat rises, it goes in between the wall and the curtain, and it gets trapped between the back side of the curtain and the glass, and it creates a dew point on the window. And then lots of times people won't open that curtain up at all. So then you have no airflow across that glass pane, and so that water will just continue to accumulate. It might even turn to frost depending upon what the temperature is outside. So those are really some of the major causes of why people are going to see moisture in their house. The moisture itself, when it shows up in most cases, is going to be on the window or the windowsill. If people don't recognize that, the first thing it's going to do is it's going to turn that wood on that window black. And in some instances, you might even get a little mold on there. But what we'll do, it will facilitate the rot of that window. And it will do that actually in a very fast time period. We've seen it where the conditions were great. Within 4 to 5 years, when people really didn't pay attention, they keep their curtains closed. They'll have a ½ inch ice buildup on the windows, and they just leave it there. And we've seen them rot the window out probably in 4 to 5 years. And so it really accelerates the deterioration of the windows in your home. And it doesn't necessarily have to stop there. I mean, it can be the windows, it can be the windowsill. In real bad instances, it even can get down into the wall, which obviously would be extreme. But to pay attention to that is huge. And it's, in most instances, when you see moisture in a house, it is not a failure of a window. You don't make the call and say, oh, I got so-and-so windows and I'm having a problem with them. That's usually not the case. It's the lifestyle that you live, and understanding that every house lives different, breathes different, and there is attention that needs to be paid to the moisture. Obviously, bath fans are all by code now. Every bathroom has to have them. In reality, the bath fan was not a code requirement for moisture removal. Bath fan is actually code requirement for in the event that you would have sewer gas. Most bath fans now are used for moisture removal. And do they work? They will work. And they do work great as long as you're going to run them all the while that the water is running and for at least a ½ hour after. That really is the key to having a bath fan be successful. And along with that, when they changed the code years ago with the bath fan requirement, they also changed the code requirement that the bath fan has to be terminated to the outside of the structure. Years ago, you just had to put a bath fan in, and you could dump the air into the attic. Didn't have to terminate to the exterior. Well, what happens is you pump all that moist air into the attic, it freezes on the bottom of the plywood, and then finally it gets to the point where it warms up on the outside and it'll rain in your attic, and then it comes down through your insulation, and then you have a water issue on your ceiling. So that's one of the things that's imperative, that your bath fans are terminated to the exterior of the building so that warm air, moist air gets to pass out through the structure and is not kept inside of it whatsoever. So that's the secret to having a bath fan work for you.